Baby, listen to me carefully. I just got something tonight that froze me in place. It's a letter, an official summons, and it says I have to testify against you. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Maybe it was meant for someone else, but no. Your name was written clearly, and my name was marked as a witness. Baby, why would they call me? What could they possibly think I know? The paper said, I need to appear tonight. Not tomorrow, not next week, but tonight. That means they're rushing this, which means something big is happening behind the scenes. But here's the part that terrifies me the most. They didn't just ask me to testify. They underlined one word against, baby, against you. Do you understand what that means? They already believe you're guilty of something serious enough to drag me into it. And I can't stop shaking because I keep asking myself, what did they think you did? And why do they think I know about it? Baby, do you remember last week when I told you I felt like we were being watched? I saw that black car parked outside for 3 nights in a row. I brushed it off. But maybe it wasn't random. Maybe they've been building a case. The worst part is, I don't even know what they expect me to say. What if they try to twist my words? What if they push me to confess things that aren't true? Baby, they could use me to destroy you. And then something else just hit me. What if someone close to us gave them information? What if someone betrayed us and pointed at you? That would explain why they want me. Because they think I'll confirm it. Baby, I don't know how to protect you. But I swear I won't let them use me as their weapon. I'll keep every detail locked in my mind, no matter what questions they throw at me. But still, the fear is eating me alive, because I don't know what they have already. And tonight, when I walk into that room, they'll be staring at me, waiting for me to speak. And if I say the wrong thing, baby, everything could fall apart. But here's what scares me more. If they already have enough proof, then maybe my words won't even matter. Maybe they just want to see how much I'll reveal. Baby, what did you do that made them chase you like this? What truth are they hiding that they think only I can confirm? And why? Why did this summons feel like a warning, not just a request? I folded the paper until it softened in my hands. The stamp still smelled like the office that sent it. I felt like the whole world had been printed wrong and handed to me. On the way to the courthouse, my thoughts raced in circles. I kept picturing the judge's bench, the bright lights, the row of chairs. I pictured you across from me, quiet, and a room full of people ready to judge. My mouth tasted like metal. When I walked inside, the air smelled of old wood and shared worry. People sat in small groups, eyes tired. The clerk called names. Papers shuffled. And every time someone stood, the room got a little louder with stories. Mine had not yet begun. They led me into a pale room with a long table and chairs on each side. 2 officers sat at the ends. A woman in a dark suit introduced herself and said, "We need to know what you saw and when." That question sounded simple, but it held a trap inside it. They don't only want facts. They want a shape to the facts that fits their story. And if my memory doesn't make that shape, they will press until it does. I took a breath and told them where I was the night things changed. I spoke slowly, saying small pieces one at a time. The streetlight that flickered, the black car that idled, the way your voice sounded over the phone. I stuck to what I remembered, not what I feared. The woman in the suit wrote everything down without looking up. They asked me about you in ways that felt like riddles. Did you ever see them meet with certain people? Have you heard threats? Did they ever act in a way that suggested they were hiding something? Each question started gentle and then leaned in like a hand waiting to close. Questions that seem small can be the ones that break a story. They find the soft spots and press. At one point, the officer slid a photo across the table. It showed a place we both knew, but with something odd in the frame, a shadow near the doorway. I stared until the shape blurred. The man with the pen looked up and said, "Can you identify this?" My tongue felt heavy. I said what I could. Yes, that was the place. And no, I could not see who made the shadow. They nodded like that was a small thing to accept. But the next question came sharp. Who had motive to be there? They wanted me to guess the why, not only the who. Motive is a story people tell to make sense of danger. If you suggest a motive, they may use it as proof. Then the woman in the suit leaned forward and asked about one person in particular. Someone who had spoken kindly to you in the past. Her name hung in the air like a heavy scarf. I felt heat rush to my face, because naming them made the room change shape. The officers exchanged a look that said they had expected me to say something different. I kept thinking of the way you laughed and the small things you told me, and I realized something. They wanted me to betray the softness between us by turning memory into evidence. That thought made my stomach sick. When they push, you find out who around you is ready to twist the truth. People protect themselves first, then the rest. A young man in the corner asked if I had ever seen documents, papers that might link you to a choice they labeled wrong. I remembered a folded note you once showed me, and then dismissed as old. I hesitated, because that note had been private, shared when trust was wide and safe. Now the question felt like a blade. I told them I had never passed papers, never hidden anything I knew of. My voice trembled only once. The woman in the suit watched my hands and then set her pen down slowly, like someone who had decided the next move. Then a new person entered the room. Someone I did not expect. They walked in with a calm face and sat without being asked. When they spoke, their voice was steady. I think the witness is telling the truth about what they know. The way they said it sounded like help, but help in that room warps quickly into leverage. Allies can be unexpected and costly. A person on your side in public can be used by others in private. After a short pause, the woman in the suit asked if I would be willing to make a formal statement in court. I nodded because I wanted to be brave for you. But as I agreed, my chest tightened because I knew the moment would change everything. Standing in court is not the same as sitting at a table. In court, words get carved into record. They gave me a time to return. Late, the night had a new weight. It would be the hour when all the pieces would be on display. I left the room with a copy of my notes and a warning not to talk to anyone about the case. The restriction felt like a net around my throat. Once I stepped outside, my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number said, "Don't trust the person who just backed you." That short line punched the air out of me. If even the helper had a cost. I realized we were in a place where nothing was simple. A warning that your ally is suspect turns every help into a riddle. You cannot breathe without thinking who benefits. I tried to call you, to tell you what had happened, but the call went to voicemail. I left a short message, so you would know I was thinking of you, and then I walked until I could not hear my pulse. Passing cars lit the pavement like brief truth tellers and then rolled away. That night, I could not sleep. I kept picturing the courtroom, faces turned like avenging statues. The judge's gavel, a sound that ends stories. I thought about all the ways my words could be sliced and used. I thought about you alone in the dark, and the cold that might make you reach for a name that won't be there. When I walked back to the station to prepare my statement, the officer on duty stopped me and slid a single photograph across the counter. It was a picture of us together in a simple moment, smiling, nothing staged. On the back someone had written, "We found them together. Tonight will show which story wins." My hands went numb. The world narrowed to that sentence, and the heavy night ahead. If they could use our kindness as proof of connection in the wrong way, what would stop them from twisting anything else? And as I stared at that hand-scrawled threat, my phone vibrated with a new message from you. "I got your voicemail. Are you okay?" I typed back one word, "Not yet." The courthouse doors were heavier than I imagined. They opened with a groan, as if the building itself was tired of holding secrets. I stepped inside and the world shrank to polished floors and whispers that clung to the air. I kept telling myself I was only here to tell the truth. But truth in a courtroom is not the same as truth in your heart. In here, every word feels like a weapon someone else can claim. The bailiff called for silence. The sound echoed off the walls and cut through my chest. People shifted in their seats, eyes forward, waiting for the play to begin. This isn't just law, it's theater. And once you step onto the stage, every breath becomes part of the script. They called me to the witness stand. My legs felt heavy, but I forced them forward, one step at a time. The judge looked down at me, eyes steady, and asked if I swore to tell the truth. I said yes, though. My voice cracked like old wood. Then came the first question. Simple words, heavy meaning. "How long have you known the one sitting here today?" I froze, because the way it was asked didn't just seek a date, it sought a story. I answered slowly, giving time as if time itself might protect me. But then the second question hit. Did you ever notice behavior that seemed unusual? My heart thumped so loud,